Okay, student, in the last video we have seen the 1 to 10 chapter of this lesson. The lesson number 2, Mauritius by the R.K. Lakshman. And we have seen that, and we have seen the whole story where the author was in the hand. There is a old map of Mauritius, where it was in the southeast of the Indian Ocean, very closer to, not closer, now we can say it is very closer, 4,500 kilometers from Bombay to the sea, in the sea. And that was a place where the very friendly people used to live, because this was a place of the maritime route for the merchants, those who are traveling on this, and that is a place of a rest actually, because this was a evergreen place. And we have seen there was a continuous volcano in this area, that because of that they had unfoldable buildings. Sometimes it looked like a hanging everywhere, and this is how these people live in the unity, where there is a people of peace. They are there together, and especially merchants, they have taken that place as a maritime and the joyful time to rest, because that was the more safer place for them. Let's see in the paragraph of 11 what happens. I will read and I will explain to you. The people of Mauritius shudder the think of the night and the king cyclone struck them. I told you they had a temporary buildings. That was because one thing they were very sure of that. What is that? That was a continuous cyclone, volcanoes. Continuous destruction of that city, of that place was continuous for them. That was a cyclone struck them. A king, that was called, they are called as a king cyclone. Not as a small cyclone, because it is in the middle of the sea. When we get the cyclone, you know the effect of this, what happens. This large cyclone, about how many buildings are destroyed. After building so well, so strong, imagine they have done. That has been, it is a tragedy for them. On February 6, 1975, a 320 km broad howling wind moved at the same 255 km per hour. This cyclone wind, it was a 255 km per speed. Everything was taken up to the sea on that level. The eye of the cyclone alone, I am told, was 48 km. Imagine, wide, and it churned in the country for 2 days. See, once it is, once the 2 days, nothing can remain there, fully dried up. Relentlessly flattering everything that stood, smashing windows and doors, tearing up rooftops, uprooting the trees and bringing them down on the buildings. See, the trees are fallen down, the buildings have come down, everything on the ground level. This is what happens when the cyclone takes place. Let's see on the paragraph 12. Now, of course, the island has recovered from the devastation, from this destruction. Devastation is called destruction. But the valley of the dead trees gives me a fair idea, and the enormous violence with which the cyclone had struck those people. And this ideas, enormous idea, gives the idea for me how the cyclone has affected them, who were actually quite used to facing these storms, as they are in the annual event of Mauritius. That was every annual. Annual is the end. Annual exam we call it, end of the year. So that is what is common for them. That is, but the big ones comes only once in a 15 years. That is, every year this is the problem. Every year that annual. Okay, this cyclone was continuous for them, every year it was. But the big ones, big cyclone, fully destructive cyclone, comes only once in a 15 years. The sad part of this, it is by the time the next one is due, the memory of the previous disaster fades or nearly comes to the believed as a myth. Now, problem is, by the time 15 years or they make everything new, they just about to forget about the event which has taken place 15 years ago, and new thing comes, as if for them there's nothing had happened. It is a myth. No, the things myth which is not happened. Myth is the story which is a cut to cut. What has happened 15 years ago before, as if their experience, it becomes like a myth, like a cut to cut. See how difficult life of these people. Okay, so again trees are planted to Congress area, tall buildings come up, plate glass pictures windows are fixed, and the rooftops are put up with an eye on the elegance and beauty. But sure enough, at the end of the 15 years of period, the king cyclone appears promptly, without failing, on the horizon to surprise the people of Mauritius. Again they rebuild their building, they put the plants. Within a 15 years, again this king cyclone comes back to visit them as a chief guest. That is never goes away from their life. Every 15 years, this king cyclone comes back to destroy completely of this. 13th chapter. The coral cutting reef runs all round the island parallel to the shoreline, keeping the hysterical waves away at the safe distance from the beaches. Okay, this curving, this land that keeps away from the beach. The calm turquoise blue lagoons and the Mauritius thus have become the world famous, and because of this, these curves, because the historical waves which is flowing there, that becomes a famous there. Even this is a so difficult place, they want to relax there. See, the calm turquoise blue lagoons and the Mauritius thus have become the world famous. They are still and calm like the lotus pond, and are delight to those who like water sports such as the scuba diving, swimming, surf riding, speedboat racing, and yanching. The same place the sea is to swallow, there is even the horse riding. See, even the sea is so calm, it is other way. Even you can, on that you can have the horse riding, he says. No waves at all. It looks so peaceful and nice, but suddenly once in a year there is a cyclone. Everything is good, everything is nice, but something goes wrong in the sea. 14th one. My wife and I, not being aquatic means not used to the journey of the water, on the water. Aqua is the water. Pure aqua, we say aquaguard. No? That is called aquatic. We watch with amusement, happiness, or wonderful, awestruck, the avidity of the tourist from all parts of the world, extracting every bit of fun that the magnificent beach could yield. That is the only we can do, because we are not used to travel. We are not used to travel on the water. We are afraid of traveling. So just we enjoy the beauty what the other tourists enjoying. We step into the grass bottomed boat carefully without getting our feet wet, and go on to the cruise and observe the submerged coral reef. And we get into the boat, that is called grass boat, okay, without putting their leg wet, getting wet, and they travel inside. And marine life. Marine is life is called continuously you travel in the ship. That is your life became the marine. Marine is a traveler of on the sea. You spend your life, most of your life, because those who are working in the ship, they are called the marine life. Because the whole year they are there, at least only in the land they are there for 3 months. In the 12 months, 9 months they are in the sea, and the 3 months they are outside. So that those who work in the ship, they get a 9-month job and 3 months holiday with the payment. This is what their life is. Okay, I see seashells on a yellow sands. Okay, I see seashell on the yellow sand. To start with, little undefinable creatures stray bit of the seaward float by. Alarmed crabs scurry for a shelter. Then comes the skeleton, like the formation of the coral. The sea depends. Pale green bushes, slimy white blobs, big as the pumpkins, lobsters, slittering, snaky forms. These are the fishes in the deep sea, which are the fishes we get in. Okay, pumpkin, lobster, big as a pumpkin, as a lobster. The lobster is so big. Okay, it has a plenty of legs, slittering, snaky forms. Okay, they have like every leg looks like a snake. Snaky forms. Okay, you can go to the Google and just type it, lobster. Okay, you will know the picture of that. Okay, the 16th chapter. As the boat moves further into the sea, the scene below turns irregular, clean like a glass. As the boat is moving further, you can see the bottom of the sea as a glass. Among the jagged rocks, the coral jungle became the dense and huge and wrapped with the brownish moss. Because beside the sea there is a forest jungle. It looks like a jungle because they have to pass through the forest. See, and becomes a brownish moss, brownish layer. I see shapeless, ugly creatures crawling in the dark depths of the sea covers. And they say there is a dark sea, something moving in the sea. I feel unblinking eyes are watching us from the below. The giant mushroom, like a growth all over. Okay, like a mushroom, like an anambe. Yeah, it has grown over. Headless animals pretending to be plants struck is one place, sway from the side to side in the ghostly manner. Bhuta kanna kanutte, and cold shiver runs down my spine. And when I looked at it, I feel that something was passing on from my spine. When you get frightened, ella naragal mele irtave, you get thrilled from inside. What happens? Even your bones get straightened, and that is what the experience she had when she looked at this headless animal, headless fish actually. Okay, in the 17th he says, all of a sudden, standing out against the darkness, a school of a fish. School of a fish means huge bundle of a fish. That is called a school of a fish. That is a word we use it, phrase we use it. Idiom, they say this word is idiom, school of fish. Colored bright lemon yellow with the black bars all along their sides, pass majestically by, cheering up the whole world of overwhelming bloom. And suddenly we find a beautiful band of a fish coming towards, so nice and tiny yellow and the black straps, once he says. Further on I see the coral branches tripped with a peculiar blue light, like the hundreds of the candles dying out. Suddenly she sees in the down of the coral, is the down of the sea, small light, lighting and getting off, lighting and getting off, as if they are burning and dying off, burning and dying off. Fishes. Okay. Further on this else, coral branches tipped with the peculiar blue, like the hundreds of the candles dying out. Plenty of colors coming now. Violet, yellow, pink, green, post box red. Fishes with hideous spikes all over their body. Spikes, you know their spikes. Now our boys, they use the gel to make our hair as a spike. That is the tradition of our boys. Okay, now also they want new style on their hairstyle. This is the like this they used to see there on this. The battered faces, all of them with the damned look of condemned souls. Christ crossed our path in the weird twilight against a nightmarish landscape. And this is how, this is the landmarish. In the sea when you travel, this is what I experience, they experience. The 18th chapter, almost to finish. Fastening my seat belt, preparing for my return flight, I vaguely think, okay, of the future of Mauritans. Again, when I fasten my seat belt to go back to my place from the Mauritius, and she thinks back again. Will it be able to preserve its pristine charm, very clever charm, pristine, prestige? It has no population problem now with its 8,50,000 people evenly spread over. So much people are there also, there is no problem, evenly they are spread, he says. There is hardly any unemployment question yet. Even 8,50,000 people are there, not even one unemployed. Everybody is working. That is the beauty of this. People seem to live fairly well at all levels. Even this condition, everybody living their super life, luxurious life, fairy life, common life. The government is aware of all these advantages, but seems to feel a certain nervousness about the economy, so it's depend basically on the single commodity, that is sugar. You know that economy of this country, that Mauritius, only based on the sugar, but the government is so calm, thinking that because there is everybody working on this, nobody is idle. That is what the life is. So it is eager to have a foreign entrepreneur start their industries here and here. The foreigners, outsiders, they want to start the industries. With industrial growth, the living space will shrink. When the industry starts, the living style, living abilities will go down, shrunk. Cars and trucks will increase. Okay, when the people come to their car, then the trucks will increase. The roads will have to be widened to take the load. See, now when the population, outside people, the factory comes, they have to have increase. Because when the trucks are moving, they are require bigger roads. Okay, the price of land will go up and the flats will appear. See, olden days were so nice. When these people started to want a factory, industries, everything changes. Cost of living, population, unemployment, slums, taxation, controls. Oh, all this thought come to me from force of habit. And enlightened people can, of course, guide themselves away from all such evils and still preserve this paradise on us. What he says from his mind. Better to avoid, because this is the paradise, this is the heavenly place, this is the really enjoyable place. If the industries enter, they will lose the beauty of that place. Better to avoid it. At last he says, I turn hopefully to the window for a clouds to entertain me, but the sun has set. It is dark outside and I shall be in India in a few hours. Now this author has come back to the India from the Mauritius, because he was traveling in the aircraft with this small map, old map, and he says this experience of this, what he has in this. Same thing, my dear student, when we travel to the unknown place, which is what happens. If you don't know Bangalore, you want to go some place, one place, what do? You put on, if you have a car, you have GPS, you put on, and you say, this will show you, because now the technology has grown so much, it will show you how to go, which right to take, which left to take, where to reach. But if I am born and brought up in Bangalore, and I have many experience in Bangalore. I don't want their GPS because I know the landscape of Bangalore. See, if you don't know the place, then you require this map and atlas. Okay, if you know the things will not necessary. So that the author says, which I don't know. This was a maritime, a joyful time for me to spend the time along with my wife in the Mauritius island. Thank you very much. See you later and see give you the question answer in the next video. Thank you so much.